Hello, Kevin Shepard here. Thank you if you're watching. You're probably one of my first fans because this is my first video and it's probably going to suck, but they will get better if you bear with me. Okay, so this one's going to be about my awakening experience. I assume anybody that would be watching these types of videos is probably going through a similar experience. So I wanted to share mine in hopes that other people could relate. Maybe it'll help, kind of prepare you for what's ahead or help you understand what you're going through. I know, like, I've watched a lot of these spiritual teachers and their explanations and kind of followed their awakenings, and it's really kind of helped me as I've navigated this process, which has been pretty difficult, especially like from the start. Like, my whole life fell apart. I thought I had cracked the code, and I thought I had everything figured out, but then just like this bomb hit me, and everything just kind of disintegrated, and I didn't understand what was going on for a while, but eventually certain things started to click. I'm getting information from like my guides or whatever, and following my intuition, and I'm like, I became a lot smarter all of a sudden, which was kind of shocking. Like, all of a sudden I can understand all this profound information, and it's just like things I've never studied, like I have knowledge of, which was weird at first, but I thought I was going a little bit crazy. Thought I was on my way to the damn nut farm for a minute there, but luckily I'm good, and I'm actually doing a lot better. But I think looking back, I can really understand why everything had to crash the way that it did. It makes a lot more sense now. I read The Law of One, and it really helped me understand like the emotional power centers or chakras, and how they work, and how they end up activating each other, and how they need to be balanced. And I think that's really what my life has been teaching me, and I had to pretty much lose everything so that I could find myself. And I think the solar plex chakra is the one that deals with knowing yourself. It's the ego chakra, and then once you detach from that ego, you can go into the heart chakra and balance it. I've always had like a pretty active heart. I'm an empath, so I love the people in my life, and for a while there, like, they were like the main motivation that drove me to succeed, and I guess like all of my love was in them, and I didn't have much in myself, and that's what I needed to learn. So they had to be kind of taken away from me, so that I could learn how to love myself. And I didn't realize that the things that I loved in them, and all of the beautiful things that I see in other people, is really the same thing that's inside of me. And when I lost them, like, I felt like I lost myself, because really, the love that I had was stuff that I saw in these other people, but that I wasn't seeing in myself. And we all have this divine essence inside of us, and we need to try to go within and realize who we are, and become love, instead of searching for love on the outside. And that's what I've been learning. I've been learning love without judgment. So, like, now that I love and respect who I am, and know who I am, know what I am, now I can see what everybody else is, and I can look at them with non-judgment. Like, I know that people are in their egos the same way as I was, so I'm no longer offended or judgmental towards them, because I understand now. I understand that we are all the same thing. Everything is connected, and we're all going through this process of growth and evolution, and all of these conflicts are necessary, just like the conflicts in our lives as we go through these awakenings. They act as catalysts to help us change, and to help us grow, and put to bed some of our old beliefs. And so that's what I've been doing. And as my heart's opened up, and I've learned non-judgment, and I've kind of isolated my ego, and kind of it still creeps up, but I'm really aware of it and I'm really on top of it now. But it's one thing you got to watch out for. Like, you can develop this spiritual ego once you start to realize that you have this wisdom and this like higher purpose and everything. It's really hard not to get caught up in that, and you almost have to at first a little bit, as you learn. But you will learn. Like, your life will teach you. And just keep an eye on that ego. It's a sneaky bastard, but it's absolutely necessary. So it has its purpose as well. But then once you go up into your heart chakra and you love unbiasedly, then your throat chakra will open up to wisdom, and it makes a lot of sense to me, that you go from fourth density to fifth density, which is wisdom. I would recognize fourth density as divine love, which would be of the feminine in my opinion, and then the fifth density, the throat chakra, being wisdom, would be of the masculine. So I think it's pretty cool how they balance each other out, and how I guess love, divine love without wisdom is basically suicide, or just stupidity in a way. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure, as all of us have many times. But if you balance it with wisdom, then you love everything and you're in a constant state of love that can't be taken from you. And then also you can look at wisdom without love can also be foolishness, and it can be evil. It can be very self-serving. I guess you could choose the negative path if you've read The Law of One. A lot of people do choose the negative path, but it's a hard thing to master, and you have to love yourself first as well, which is a really hard thing to do. Anyway, but I mean, it is possible to skip the heart and go straight to the wisdom of the throat chakra, if you choose that sort of path. But luckily for me, I've always been a very loving person, and I'm not gonna take that road. And I know that our planet's shifting into a positive fourth density, so you should probably get on the positive bandwagon as well. I feel like we need to just stick to this, like, love, non-judgment, unity, and I feel like we're all gonna, just our lives are all gonna get way better as time goes on. Even the general public who's really unaware of all this stuff, like, I feel like their lives are gonna improve as those of us waking up start to shift our consciousness into this loving density, and opening ourselves up to this wisdom so that we can teach other people. And that's what I'm doing. One of the things that most recently has been going on is, like, I've had addictions throughout my life, like some hardcore ones actually, but I've gotten through most of those early, but I still held on to smoking, or vaping, or whatever, nicotine. And like, I realized I did that in response to some type of urge in my stomach, like an anxious feeling. And every time I would get that anxiety, I would vape or smoke or whatever. And something told me to stop doing that, and to dive into the feeling that was causing me to do that. And once I did that, all this, I mean, it was pretty intense for a couple of days. All this crazy stuff from my past came up, and kind of messed with me. I had some crazy dreams, but a couple days later, like, I was completely free of all these shadows that were buried, like, really deep. So if you have any addictions, you should definitely stop long enough to let these shadows surface. And then I found that I didn't need to smoke anymore. I didn't have a need for it anymore, and I feel way better, and my heart just opened up even more. So even if it doesn't have to be drugs. Like, it could be food, it could be gambling, it could be sex, like, it could be anything. Like, if you get, like, a nervous urge and then you go do this thing that's like a habit, then you could definitely benefit from, like, figuring out what that underlying feeling is that causes you to do that. And once you heal that, it could really boost your awakening, as it has with mine. But Anyway, I appreciate you taking the time to check my video out. These will be getting better as time goes on. I'm just kind of learning as I go, and something's calling me to do this. I have a Facebook page called Acclimating to Fire, that I've been writing on, but I mean, people don't really read anymore, so I'm probably going to start doing videos on there, and start a YouTube channel or whatever. But if you you know, value what I'm saying and everything, can relate, please subscribe and like. I mean, if you don't like it, you can give me like a pity subscribe and like. That would be pretty cool of you too, because I'm trying to get the word out here. I appreciate you. All right.